get my notebook.
Whatever you say will be perfect. All right, good evening. We'll call the meeting to order.
Welcome to Nixa City Hall. This video is going to provide you with an overview of how the City of Nixa conducts City Council meetings. We encourage everyone to attend and participate in City Council meetings. This is part of how democracy works at the local level, listening to the perspectives of subject matter experts, city residents, and other community members helps our elected leaders make more informed decisions. Before we start the meeting, let's review some of Council's rules of order. These rules help us make sure our meetings are orderly and efficient, while protecting the ability of everyone to have an opportunity to speak. Please be respectful of the person speaking and hold your own comments until it is your turn to speak. Presenters are invited by the Council to provide information during the meeting to the Council. These are informational presentations only, and nothing will be voted on at the time of the presentation. Presenters are not time limited. There are 2 times when all other visitors will be able to speak to Council. The first is during the visitor section of the agenda, and the second is during any public hearing regarding an agenda item. During the visitor section, anyone may speak to Council about any topic, whereas the public hearings regarding specific agenda items allow you to make comments for Council to consider before they make a decision on that topic. Whether you wish to speak during any public hearing or the visitor section, the following rules of order will apply. 1. Only one person should speak at a time. Be respectful of the person speaking and wait to speak until it is your turn. 2. Anyone speaking must do so from the podium and speak into the microphone. 3. You must first state your name and provide your address in writing to the city clerk before beginning your comments. 4. All speakers will be given 5 minutes to make their comments to the Council. The mayor or council may have additional questions for speakers after this 5-minute period. 5. All comments should be addressed to the mayor and council. 6. If you have questions about existing city processes, programs, or policies, or if you need assistance from staff on any issue, please contact City Hall during normal business hours and we'll be happy to assist you or answer any questions you may have at that time. The public hearing is designed to provide the public an opportunity to provide testimony and information to the mayor and council regarding the decisions they may be considering. Keep in mind this meeting will be recorded and live streamed with video and audio. Therefore, all comments relevant to this meeting must be spoken into a microphone, otherwise video viewers will not be able to hear you. In the case of a closed session or technical difficulties, some meetings or portions of meetings may not actually be recorded or streamed. The use of cell phones during council meetings is discouraged, so please silence all devices now. Thank you for watching, and thank you for engaging with the City of Nixa. The meeting will begin shortly.
Kelly Morris.
Here.
Matt Ogden.
Here.
Sean Lucas.
Here.
Aaron Peterson.
Here.
Darlene Graham.
Here.
Zern Vess.
Here. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Mayor, before we get started with tonight's agenda, I would like to make a motion based on conversations that have been had with the applicant to postpone Council Bill number 2023-39 until the regularly scheduled meeting on November 27th.
I have a first. Do I get a second?
I'll second it.
First by Mr. Lucas, second by Mr. Peterson. Roll call, please.
Matt Ogden.
Yes.
Sean Lucas.
Yes.
Aaron Peterson.
Yes.
Darlene Graham.
No.
Zern Vess.
Yes.
Kelly Morris.
No.
Mayor vote is 4-2. Postponement carries.
Can I make a comment before we finalize this?
I mean, the vote's already been done, but
Well, you didn't ask if anybody had any comments. I'm putting it on you.
that's fine.
Okay. My neighbors have done a lot of research and brought a number of things to me. And the thing I'm looking at more than anything is that these people have had since December to get their taxes paid. They have still not been paid as of today. And that was one of the things we talked about. If they hadn't been paid, that we were going to start this all over again. Their business license was revoked in February, which means that they are not supposed to be doing any kind of business except that's necessary to wind up and liquidate that business and their affairs. They haven't filed for reinstatement. They brought this rezoning to planning and zoning after this license had been revoked. So I don't know how they're still able to do any kind of business once it's been revoked. And they have made no effort to get it put back in place like it should be. I don't see why we're going to give them another 2 months to get something put in place that they've already had over 9 months to do, and they haven't done it.
I do agree with you, and which is why we went this direction. I will say, I think some of our internal processes will change based on this, checking on that stuff first, but it's definitely not our job to do the job of the Secretary of State. So this would have, when they tried to do business with it, that's when it would have come down on them from the state. The other option for this would have been to deny it, and then they would have done the same process all over again.
Which would have been fine with me.
And there would have been, 3 more meetings, and it would have been a similar outcome. But
Well, it would have given
this
them time to
also-
get it all put back together to get in place what they needed to do in the first place, not just
Yeah.
saying you get 2
Well, and
months.
that's the thing,
free
right
time.
now, they have 2 months. If it's not done in 2 months, we won't postpone it again.
Okay,
We can vote it down, let it die.
okay.
But no, I'm not disagreeing with you one bit.
Okay. Just had to get my say, that's all.
That's fine. So what this means is at the November 27th meeting, this will be brought back up. We will check into it. If everything is good with their company, then we will move forward with hearing from everyone again and move forward with a vote. This is a little bit different since it is a company that owns it instead of just an individual, because you don't necessarily have to have a business license to build a house. So it's just a little different. And thank you, Ms. Graham.
You're welcome.
Okay. So moving on, first up is our proclamation. Have some of my favorite people back there. We'll wait a moment. Okay, whereas September 17th, 2023 marks the 236th anniversary of drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention, and whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate this occasion, and whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 7th through the 23rd as Constitution Week. Now, therefore, I, Jared Giddens, Mayor of the City of Nixa, do hereby proclaim September 17th through the 23rd, 2023 as Constitution Week. And I urge all citizens to study the Constitution and reflect on the privileges of being an American with all the rights and responsibilities which that honor holds. And I believe we have the Daughters of the American Revolution here. Didn't know if you wanted to speak or if I'm just lucky enough to get a picture with all of you. All right. If you knew how bare my office was, you'd know how excited I am about getting that. Okay. All right, first up is first reading of Council Bill.
Visitor
What?
section. Visitor section.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Ron. I guess I will open the visitor section. If you would like to speak.
Ron Sanders.
There we go. I will now close the visitor section.
You're not getting off that easy. But I was going to suggest that y'all make a motion, but everybody left. Are citizens allowed to come up here and make motions and request motions for things during the meeting? No, it has to all be done by those guys, right? I'm Ron Sanders, and one of the things that I love about tonight is that you guys had an actual proclamation that was worth making, celebrating the U.S. Constitution. As someone who defended the Constitution with all of my heart for 20 years plus, officially 20 years, and since then, unofficially, I can tell you that I've lived many places and I've visited many places across the world who don't have what we have. And I've seen how their frame of government works. And earlier, about 10, 15 years ago, there was a whole bunch of kerfuffle about how free Australia is, how free Canada is, how well their government works, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, They are the freest places. And I went back and I looked up some of the visual aids, and like the top 12 freest nations in 2016, the U.S. wasn't even a part of the top 16, And going back to 2010 and 2005, we were down near the bottom, The way that it worked is the United States just slowly worked its way down as far as freedom goes. And the way the world portrayed the United States is that we're just not very free. But Australia, a couple years ago, took 70,000 children from their families and forced injections on them. Right now, in Canada, there's a psychologist that is being forced to go through retraining because he said something that people didn't like on social media. In Denmark, there are hundreds and thousands of farmers who are being threatened to have their farms taken away from them for what is it, global warming, climate change, whatever they call it right now. Sweden, even though they resisted all of the mass craziness and all of the injection craziness, they went about their business as normal. They still have a lot of, they're not all that free, but it's by their own choice, more or less. They do for the good of everybody else. Here in America, even though the process is slow, we are starting to see our Constitution and everything underneath that Constitution, the foundation of our nation, working. We have nurses who lost their jobs in New York, finally getting their say in court, having their jobs reinstating, being paid back years of back pay because they were unjustly dismissed from their jobs. It is slowly rolling across the United States, and sometimes that justice is slow in our system. But we have to remember that Constitution, every single word in it was selected for a reason. Every single word that was written was dissected, was discussed for hours at a time by a whole bunch of really smart people who were drinking coffee and other things, having these long, drawn-out discussions, kind of like we've had some long, drawn-out discussions here, to make sure that the exact word was used in every single sentence of the Constitution so that it would last 246, 250, are we up to 250 years now? 250, what is it? 256, there you go. I can't do the math that fast. One of the longest living documents that has ever seen on this earth, and one of the best documents that has ever brought freedom to people. Less than 10% of people in the United States do not have air conditioning, do not have a TV, do not have a cell phone, do not have some kind of a gaming device, do not have furniture in their house, do not live in squalor. Less than 10%. You look at any other nation in the world, and you'd have to go up to above 30%. That Constitution is worth celebrating, and it's worth studying, and it's worth getting to know again. Thank you.
Thank you. Guessing there's no other visitors? You good? Okay. All right, I will close the visitor section. Now, first reading, Council Bill 2023-42.
First reading, Council Bill Number 2023-42, an ordinance of the Council of the City of Nixa amending the 2023 annual budget to appropriate funds for engineering costs associated with the repair of the pool located at the Nixa Aquatic Center. Presenting is Parks Director Matt Kraus.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Tonight is a first reading of a budget amendment to appropriate the funds that we will need in order to get the engineering side of the pool repair done. As you know, we worked to try to repair a leak that we were unsuccessful in doing this summer. In taking the time then to look back and figure out what our best course of action is moving forward, we believe that replacing the entire recirculation system for the pool would be our best interest. This will ensure that, one, we get the leak repaired, and two, that we don't have another leak that pops up in the next few years as we have that aging infrastructure. And so this will be the first reading for the funds necessary for those engineerings. Our hope will be to bring this back to you next meeting, as well as a contract for that engineering to design how to do that repair. We will also be looking at several other additions or new things to bring to the pool, such as maybe additional slides, more concrete decks, shade, and redoing the filtration room of the pool all at the same time. This would update the entire aquatic center then for many, many, many years to come, and would hopefully prevent any other closures or any major issues moving forward that way. The funds would be coming out of our Aquatics Reserve Fund for this budget amendment, and so I thought that was important to note as well. I'm open for questions if you have any.
When we start the work to fix this, is it priority to try to find the leak while they're doing it?
I would think yes. I would like to at least know exactly what the cause of our leak was.
Good.
I've got some ideas, again, pure speculation just from my years out there, but we would like to try to identify exactly what that cause is during that time as well.
Cool.
We do know that it's on the recirculation system, so it's just a matter of where on the recirculation system.
We should probably save that piece wherever it's...
Absolutely.
I'd like it in my office, please.
You bet.
I need more decor,
I
so...
will make that happen.
All right. Any other questions from council? Thank you, Matt. I will open up the public hearing on this, if you would like to speak on this item. I will close the public hearing. Nothing else from council? Moving on to Resolution 2023-41.
Resolution number 2023-41, a resolution of the Council of the City of Nixa accepting the bid of Ceiling Concepts Asphalt Restoration for the 1111 Catherine Parking Lot Ceiling Project and authorizing the city administrator to execute a contract for the same. Presenting is Street Superintendent Jeff Russell.
Mayor, Council, good evening. This resolution will allow a bid to be awarded to Ceiling Concepts. Ceiling Concepts have done work for the city in the past for different parking lots around the area, the municipal parking lot as well as here at City Hall. This project will allow for preservation work to our 1111 Catherine Public Works Facility. Their bid amount was $8,400. It's well within our budgeted amount, and it is our recommendation to approve this resolution.
Any questions? No. Thank you. I like the pen. All right. We will open up the public hearing. If you would like to speak on resealing the parking lot. We will close the public hearing. Anything else from council? I will accept the motion.
So made.
Second.
Mr. Lucas first, Mr. Ogden second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? It passes. All right, resolution 2023-42.
Resolution number 2023-42, a resolution of the Council of the City of Nixa accepting the bid of D&E Plumbing and Heating for the Cherry Street Stormwater Project Phase 2 and authorizing the city administrator to execute a contract for the same. Presenting is Street Superintendent Jeff Russell.
Mayor and council. This is a project that was identified in our 2023 CIP program. This is the second phase of a project that will aid this area of town with flooding issues and stormwater pollution. There were 3 bids received for this project, with D&E Plumbing being the low bid at $352,787. They are actually the same company that done the first phase. We were satisfied with the work that they done, so it is our recommendation to award this to D&E Plumbing.
What kind of time frame is on this? And if it's in there, I apologize.
90 days.
I'd have to go back and look exactly how long is in the contract. Once a notice of award is presented, they have a certain timeline. I want to say that's a 90-day to 120-day time period. After speaking with Mr. Oath, the owner of D&E Plumbing, it would be something that they would want to start late this fall or early winter.
Okay.
Last time we talked about this project, we were having a little trouble securing an easement. I'm assuming we've got that.
Yes, all easements have been acquired.
Great.
Perfect. All right. Any other questions?
Does this include any sidewalk work at all?
There will be a small piece of sidewalk done on it. If you'll notice the Cherry Street portion of that, they have to remove all of the drainage that's underneath, and so they will basically tear the whole street out right there in that section. So that small piece will have new sidewalk put on it. But the focus of the project is mostly just for the stormwater.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we will open up the public hearing if you would like to speak on this. We will close the public hearing. Anything else from council? All right, I will accept the motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
First by Ms. Graham, second by Mr. Peterson. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Running a little late. All right, moving on to resolution 2023-43.
Resolution number 2023-43, a resolution of the Council of the City of Nixa authorizing the city administrator to solicit bids for certain underground electric circuit projects. Presenting is Assistant City Administrator and Public Works Director Doug Colvin.
Good evening. As Becca said, this is for 2 projects that we have. This project was identified originally, or these projects were identified originally in our 2019 master plan for the electric. It's been on our capital improvement plan for a couple of years. It's currently in the approved capital improvement plan and as capital projects for the 2023 budget. The 2 projects include some circuit extensions and ties. So in other words, the West Highway 14 circuit will provide backfeed as well as circuit extension for commercial growth, for residential growth, that type of thing on West 14 So it would be along Nixa Road in 14. So it'll provide backfeed because it'll have two ties to I believe the tracker sub, is that right? SB. Oh, yeah, SB, okay. The other one's on the other side, okay. The other project is Tracker to Cheyenne tie. It's actually a long tracker that we have a distribution circuit that is on the eastern side of Wicklow at Tracker Road, and it will go cross country there over to Cheyenne and then south down to North Street. So that'll be very similar. It'll provide service for all of the open area that's over there for development along North Street and Cheyenne. As I mentioned, both of these projects have been, in the plan for some time. In addition to the capital improvement plan that this is on, it also meets one of our strategic plan action plans, which would be the undergrounding of more lines. Granted, we're not taking a line that exists and putting it underground, but right from the get-go, we're going to put this one underground. So we're looking to do that as much as we can. In the budget, the West Highway 14 project is budgeted for around $322,000. The other one's about $822,000. So hopefully we'll get some good bids for those and, be able to go ahead and award those without having any kind of a budget amendment. This resolution tonight authorizes us to go ahead and bid them. If they're within budget, and we don't have to bring it back to you, the city administrator will be able to sign a contract and we can move forward. Any questions?
Any questions?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Colvin. All right, we will open up the public hearing. We will close the public hearing. Anything else from council? All right, I will accept the motion. Oh, what's up?
Never mind, go ahead. No.
I can stop.
No, go ahead.
All right, I will accept the motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
First by Mr. Ogden, second by Mr. Vess. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that passes. One thing that I still kind of have on my list, if the council members could get with their, who they're liaisoning for, I don't know if that's a word, but, and figure out kind of what your time frame might be. I don't want to do a liaison report during budget. That just, I don't want staff to kill me. I think they got enough going on as it is. So if you could get with them and kind of, if you guys could kind of come up with a time frame on when you would like to present, that would be great. If you could have kind of an idea within the next month, that would be great. If not, I'd be more than happy to assign them for you. So get with your person and see what it looks like and when you think it would be best, and then just shoot me an email and let me know, and so we can get those on the calendar, and I don't want to get those lost. So is there anything else from staff? There's a lot going on right now.
Just a reminder, Cindy, if you can remind me about the multicultural event.
There we go.
September 23rd, we're going to have our second annual multicultural event. I have 4 groups so far booked to perform. We have 2 from last year and then 2 brand new groups. Pretty excited about all of them. It'll be fun. I'm full on my food trucks, so we've got a whole different group of food trucks coming in, and the vendors are coming in, so it'll be a fun. I've got a lot of giveaways. We've got the high school involved. It's going to be a fun day. So 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come out and hang out with me.
Did you hear that, Ron? Food trucks.
Food trucks.
Okay. Are the kids dancing again this year?
Yes.
That was-
Grupo Latin Americano, they're bringing their the little children,
That was awesome.
and then the young women. The adult women were booked already for another festival.
Yep.
And so we've got the children and the young teens. So they will be dancing.
And we can learn a new language too, is that?
Well, our very own Becca Coffee is going to be leading one of the dances
Yay.
with her tribe.
There will be social dances. Wyandotte Nation will be performing social dances. I get to help lead those with the one of the gentlemen that's coming. So you all get to participate in social dancing. You get to learn the alligator. It's going to be super fun. Come prepared.
I think I've done the alligator before.
It's an alligator dance. You partner up and then you just follow the leaders. It's going to be super fun. And then when you're all done, I'll teach you a word. You can say yawasti, which means good or great.
Does it require like certain shoes? Like, is that kind of prepare certain shoes?
Wear Crocs.
Just comfortable
Clogs.
shoes. Crocs.
Clogs, gotcha.
according to the
Moccasins.
yes. It'll be a lot of fun.
Can't wait.
Yes.
It'll be a fun day. I'd like to see everybody there.
And just a reminder, I believe Cindy, Jimmy, Becca, and myself will be out of town Sunday through Wednesday for the MML conference. So
I
if you
will be
need,
sending an email out with contact information if something were to happen.
just send everything to Doug, right?
Doug's out of town as well.
Oh, Doug's out too.
You will have her email this evening.
It's all going to chief.
Yeah. No budget stuff will be discussed during those 3 days.
Speaking of budget time, don't want to, for you to forget, we have a budget workshop, September 18th, 6 p.m. Meal will be provided. We wanted to sort of bring council in a little bit earlier in the process this time so that we can get more of your input as far as direction goes for capital projects, prioritization, and things like that. So we will be presenting operational budgets and the list of projects for you to prioritize into
What
the
was that
budget.
date again, Jennifer?
The 18th,
Of September?
September, a week from Monday.
I'm going to be out of town. I'm so sorry. I hate to miss the budget meeting.
We'll be bringing it back several times.
Yeah, it's just a
but this
start.
will be
It'll be fine.
This will be kind of the direction that council can give staff to know where you want to spend the money.
And yeah, he wants us to give it all to the parks. One last question. How are all of our people over in utility billing doing?
It's going better. It's going better. We still, are coming across things, and we're a little bit more prepared to handle them as they arise. But we've gotten the bills out on time for the last 2 cycles, so that's great. And I think our citizens are finally sort of warming up to the idea that things are changing, and they've kind of learned how to navigate all of that. So there are still some things that, we're having to help guide citizens through of how to access different areas of their account and things like that. But for the most part, I think that we're kind of on the downhill slide now, so.
Do we still have a backlog at all on voicemails, or
Oh, no,
are we
no,
caught up?
that's all
Okay.
smooth sailing now. We have a process in place to return voicemails by the end of the business day. We've got the phone tree set up to where people can hold a little bit, and they put, they don't hold longer than 10 minutes, and then they can leave a voicemail, and we return those calls by the end of the business day. So that has lessened the load a lot.
Perfect.
We're all caught up on new ins and outs and things like that. So we're all caught up. That was part of the problem. We got way behind. We're all caught up now, so we're able to, and we're fully staffed. So we have 2 new frontline employees, so that has helped a tremendous amount. So
Perfect.
thank you for your patience.
Oh, and thank you guys for all of it. I know it's been a lot of fun.
Yes. Fun. That's
it's a good word.
For it.
All right. Anything else from council or staff?
Yes. I had someone call me today, and Drew can answer this, very concerned because they've been following the voting for the flag. He's saying like there's 160 negative votes, and they're very concerned about what happens if we get nothing but negative remarks about it. Do we design a different one, or what's going to happen?
Well, they're following a Facebook page.
Well, yeah, I'm just.
We've
I'm
had
just telling you
over,
what
I
they
mean,
told me.
we've had a lot of votes, over 1,000 votes. So yes, there was 100 and something comments on that post, probably by about 20 people total.
I told them I'd ask, that's all.
But yeah, but no, the votes, we were looking at it earlier, and there's over 1,000 votes. And yeah, I've heard a lot, I've heard both sides. It was same when, I think same when Springfield changed their flag. It was an uproar, and then they adopted it, and it kind of went away. But one thing I would say is do what we did earlier. Look at other flags in the area. I do like the story to ours. I think any of the designs, I think the story tells a lot. It means a lot. And I've had a lot of people say they really, at first, they didn't necessarily like the design, but then when they read the meaning of it, it made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But no,
I will let them know.
we definitely don't have, I don't think there's a way to negatively vote on the, you either vote for A, B, or C.
We gave 3 options.
While he's coming up here, I'll also want to say I actually had emails complimenting the flags.
Good.
And there's already been one individual in town that's made their own, and it's currently flying the one that they're voting for.
Oh.
So there is some
Yeah,
positive
they actually went
feedback
ahead and
out
made
there.
it, and it's flying at their house.
Oh, well, okay.
So hopefully it wins. If it doesn't, we'll give him a free one.
Yeah, so on the poll, we gave 3 options, just option 1, design 2, I'm changing my words, design 1, 2, or 3, right, as options. We didn't have an option for no change, or to keep the current flag, or to do some other option that we had not conceived of. So, but it'll ultimately be up to the council on whether we adopt anything or the public vote. I'll present those results to you on the meeting on the second meeting of this month, not counting the budget workshop, the actual regular second meeting.
Okay.
We'll present those results of the poll to you, and then you guys will be able to make a decision and vote. Would that be a resolution or an ordinance? A resolution to adopt a flag, and you guys will be able to discuss it and vote at that time.
Thank you.
Perfect. Well, if nothing else, I think it's time to watch Chiefs game. Meeting adjourned.